It's Missing Real with Mike Darrigo. Big things have small beginnings. Hey, that's the very same pep talk I give to myself right before I have sex. What do you know? All right, here we are once more, rolling along with another great season of Missing Real podcast. Glad you're here and glad I'm here. And I guess I'm glad for the other person who will soon be joining us. Yeah, I have a co-commentator on this episode. And this episode, of course, is about 2012's masterpiece sci-fi work, Prometheus, directed by Ridley Scott. And we all know Prometheus is just a little code name for Alien 5 or whatever, but they didn't really want us to know that. So anyway, I have my buddy Quan joining us shortly to discuss, debate, argue about this movie. And I'm going to just zero in on this subspace transmission right here via, it's really just Skype, but that's how we're talking today. So hang in there, I'm going to go fetch Quan and we're going to get this show on the road. We got Quan in the house. Are you there, bro?
Yes, I am. Thanks for having me again, Mike. I'm glad to be back here on your show.
I see you got your fancy new microphone there. There's more upgrades than I've done.
It's mostly just for gaming because I'm a loser, and I just, I don't know. My old mic apparently wasn't keeping up with, everyone else, so I was like, all right, I might as well just get a nice setup.
I'm proud, man. You are a state-of-the-art loser at the very least.
That is very true.
And now we're collecting. So here we are. We're ready to talk about a movie that I could say one of us really likes and the other does not. So
guess who?
We're talking. Well, you can't always be the negative one, man. Well, one of these days you're gonna have to bring me over to a movie that I can't stand that you think is a gem. But we'll get to
we already did that last time with AVP.
Well, sort of, yeah. It's still on the bottom rung for me, but we're continuing the tradition. We're still talking sort of alien stuff here because we're going on about Prometheus from 2012, which is really Alien 5, but they just didn't want to call it that because, they want to veil it in secrecy and maybe try to reboot the franchise in a way.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't know, man. I understand where they wanted to do a whole reboot and probably do a whole origin thing, but I'm sick of it.
But it's an origin. I mean, instead of going forward and ending it, they're going backwards and starting it. And I thought it was pretty fascinating, honestly. Maybe it would have been different because, of course, this movie didn't come up right away as the logical progression of an Alien franchise. I think there was some idea of Ridley Scott and James Cameron both teaming up and doing a new Alien movie around 2002. But then what came along? In 2004, AVP. And they said, fuck it, the franchise is gone. This is going to ruin it. We can't get involved with this. Our hands are clean. But I don't know. We liked some of the AVP. Well, I like the first. You like the second. And they're good. They belong. They fit in.
Well, I mean, they are officially canon and part of the story now. So it's not like we can, discredit it or to say that, it never really happened. No, it did. Sorry.
It happened. I mean, it was entertaining. And, whatever kind of alien movie they'll throw at me, I'm still going to check it out and see if it's any good. But this one in particular, man, Prometheus, just finding out about it. And they were kind of hush-hush about the fact that it was related to Alien in any way. I mean, even Ridley Scott was kind of it's got alien DNA. And that's all he was going to say about it. It's got alien DNA. And then there were trailers. And the really cool thing I loved about this movie, though, they really promoted it very well in the start. They had they had a short film. They had a TED Talk with Guy Pearce, at a normal, young age, I guess, playing Peter Whalen and talking about his company and his vision and all his shit, what we're going to do and throwing a little mythology at us. And this was very cool, but nobody knew this was really even related to the movie exactly. It just kind of popped up there online, and it was really interesting to see that. And it ties right into the movie just only 100 years later, probably, after this. I don't know if you caught that one.
No, that one I didn't catch, but I do remember when the trailers came out and had that really big bassy horn, and then it showed pretty much the only good parts of the movie for me. And yeah. I was like, oh, this is gonna be amazing. This is gonna look awesome.
It did look awesome. You're talking about the space jockey popping out of the ground and that big horseshoe ship outline spinning around on the readout.
Yeah. And with the
I
giant,
saw that.
Horn in the bass, and you're just like, oh, this looks epic. And then
it did.
Yeah,
I lost my shit when I saw that trailer. This is 33 years later, and this is alien stuff coming back, and they're gonna reveal what it's all about and where it came from, and I don't know. But yeah, it's we knew there was some alien stuff going on in there before it even hit the screen. But yeah, they hyped it up like crazy. They had a website, even an entire information network, Weyland-Yutani website, where you could just go in and look up all this different stuff about this fictional company and all the ties it has in the universe to other stuff. So they did try to promote this movie and make it really, really epic and mysterious.
Yeah, but sadly, what we got is, well, at least in my opinion, what we got is 2 hours of just boring nonsense.
We're going to get to those, both
Okay.
those 2 hours. We'll spend hopefully less than that amount of time just, milling through it. But all right, let's see what we got here. Like, where are we starting off? I'll just tell you the trivia crap that I always bring to the table because I like to research all this stuff. And
No, of course, I love learning, like, this kind of stuff.
even about movies that suck, right?
Hey, always down to learn.
Eventually, all the information might actually turn you like, hey, you know what? That's pretty interesting. The movie sucks, but the whole making of is spectacular. I don't know. But here's what happened. When they finally decided to do this damn movie, there were some screenplays out, and there was one screenplay with a very, very unusual title, Alien Paradise. Now, who the fuck would go see a movie called Alien Paradise? I mean, I'm expecting to see a bunch of xenomorphs lounging next to the pool and, like, cocooning all the other resort guests. Like, that doesn't seem like the kind of movie I'd go see. But that's what it was initially titled.
Yeah, Aliens in Heaven. Great. Sounds fucking amazing.
Yeah, Jersey Shore aliens or whatever. But then later on, they bring in one of the Lost writers, Lost producers, Damon Lindelof. And I figures, okay, that means we're going to get a really amazing epic story with no resolution whatsoever. So we sort of did, but the movie was underway. The studio wouldn't do it unless Ridley Scott was on board. So he's on board. But he was like really, really, persistent. Like, we're not going to call it Alien. It's not Alien anything. It's just Prometheus, or some other Titan that wasn't already used in Clash of the Titans, let's say. Some other Greek mythological dude from Mount Olympus. So here we are, like a mysterious title that nobody knows what the fuck it is, but it looks cool. It looks like a good sci-fi epic kind of movie, from the trailer.
I know, but like I said, the trailer just, yeah.
The trailer is the whole movie. Well, I mean, I like the trailer. I was so dying to see it when I saw the trailer. So here it is. We're seeing a movie. I watched it. I actually went to see it in 3D, which really wasn't very good, even though I think they used the same cameras that were being used in Avatar, but the effect was definitely not comparable at all. I mean, I was like, 2D would have been fine.
Holy crap. Wait, when did this movie come out, you said?
2012.
Wow,
So,
I think I did probably see it in 3D as well. I really don't... that's how little of an impression it made on me.
Yeah, it didn't stand out. Yeah, I know. But no, Avatar blew my mind with the 3D. That was incredibly epic 3D. The cameras were invented just for that film. I mean, every time he does a movie, he's always got some new equipment, most of it for underwater. But, Cameron definitely comes up with good cameras. I don't know. If Ridley borrowed his cameras, he didn't know how to use them properly. I don't know, because the 3D in this was, like, barely noticeable. But, all right, I'm just talking about the 2D version. The movie. All right, it's got a good cast, sort of. I mean, like, I never saw any of those girl with the tattooed dragon kicking the hornets into the fire movies, but Noomi Rapace is our lead here, and she was in those.
She's just awesome. I love her, too, and her accent, and she's just beautiful.
She was good in this. I really liked her.
We just call this movie, it's a shame for all the actors and actresses in this movie. Like, it's a lot of their best work, and wow, it was sadly in this movie. That's what I'll say.
Real well, at least they tried. I mean, it's not like it was.
I'm not blaming the actors at all. I'm blaming the story and the writing.
I'm still pro Prometheus here. I'm still, unless you can change my mind along the way and tell and convince me it really does suck as hard as you think it does. But
then let's see.
Let's carry on and see. All right. So anyway, Noomi is in there. She's cool. But before we even see her, the opening of the movie, which I love already, it's this really epic scenery. Probably some part of Iceland, which looks amazing, and I'll probably try to go there one day when travel is common again. But this is really nice landscape, and this UFO flying saucer thing is hanging in the sky, and this tall albino dude just standing at the edge of a waterfall, and he opens up this little jar. Yeah,
white Jesus.
He could be white Jesus, I don't know. But he's just standing there. He's somebody important, let's just say. But he unscrews this little jar, and he eats this bad caviar, gets a really awful case of food poisoning, and he just plummets into the waterfall, and he starts dissolving like an Alka-Seltzer tablet, and then all of a sudden his DNA just washes into the sea, and I guess it combines and makes the human race. We suppose. We don't know. I think that's what is implied at the beginning of this movie. And there's your opening credits. Yeah, it's weird.
It's pretty much what the biologist said, it's just discounting, Darwinism.
All right, so that's our primordial ooze, I guess. And then later on, we see humans, and we got Noomi there. She's playing Elizabeth Shaw, and she's got her husband there. This actor, I don't know a whole lot about. Not Tom Hardy. He could have been. I wish he had him, because we got this other dude, Logan Marshall Green.
I've seen him in a few things, and, the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, holy shit, Tom Hardy's in this movie.
Yeah,
and
I guess
I think in real life he gets that a lot, and I kind of feel bad.
He's Tom Hardy's stand-in, but the only movie I heard of with him is Upgrade, and I didn't even see it. But
I do like that one.
Is it good? Yeah, I probably watch that, and then maybe I could be a fan. I could be a fan of this standby Tom Hardy guy. But all right, he's with her. They're in a cave. They're looking around. They see some pictographs, and they figure out, some beings from another universe have invited us to come to the stars and find their planet, and borrow their crayons or whatever, and learn about the human race.
So there's my first issue with it.
Go.
Who the fuck said it was an invitation?
They just assume so. They're just they're very, very cocky. Yeah. Like, I mean, maybe they found that gold record we shot into space and they listened to it and they said, not bad. You got like what else did they put out? I don't know, because we're trying to find intelligent life.
So then that also leads me to ask the question then too. Who drew those paintings? Who left the carvings lying around? Like, because did the engineers come back to Earth and teach human stuff?
Because I think they were just there, and then the humans that remembered it, like they said, let's draw this because we don't have cameras yet, so let's draw it on the wall.
Who remembered it though, since we're supposed to assume that White Jesus is the one that started all of it. Don't know. There's your first fucking hole in that movie.
I don't know. I'm not looking for holes. I'm looking for aliens, man.
Neither am I. I just noticed these things, sadly.
All right. Well, yeah, there might be some gaps in the logic, but anyway, they have a company with a whole lot of money, funded by Wayland there. So they take the ship, they go into space and try to find one of these planets. They get a nice crew. They're all in hypersleep like they always have to be because you can't get anywhere overnight. So they're like flying in space for 2 years and they got a robot on the ship. This robot is Michael Fassbender. Our buddy from 300, X-Men's, and Steve Jobs. Yes. And he's good. He could play a robot, I guess. Yeah. He's hanging out in the ship, turning things on, doing a little basketball swish from a bicycle, showing off his athletic prowess.
He's literally the reason why we should be killing all the AI. Like, aside from Terminator, he's a perfect reason of why, robots are bad.
Yeah, well, we could stick him in our teams and win some championships first, play some bets, and then destroy them. He wakes everybody up. They're all a little bit space sick, puking. They have a breakfast around a table that looks a lot like the Nostromo cafeteria, so it all echoes a lot of alien stuff as we're watching this movie. It's like, it's not an alien movie because all that shit looks really familiar.
Majority of this movie is just a nostalgia boner for the fans.
It is. It's totally, like I recognize a lot of stuff in similar scenes and whatever, but we want to see if the movie itself is any good, not just like brushing over all these memories and flipping through an old photo album. So we have some more cool crew members, some good characters. We have Milburn, this guy played by Rafe Spall, who was in all the Edgar Wright movies like Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz and World's End.
Wait, was he the biologist?
He was one of the biologists or geologists. He's the one who gets stuck in the pyramid later on with the other dude, Fifield.
Oh, yeah, the Scottish guy, yeah.
Sean Harris, yes, he's very, very grumpy. I've been asleep for 2 years. I ain't here to be your friend. I'm here to make money. And he's good. He's all those. He's in a couple of those Mission Impossible movies where he also sounds exactly the same, and he's very, unpleasant, but very good character, fun. He's good comic relief, sparring with this other geologist guy. And of course, they're all gonna die first.
Hey, at least Idris Elba didn't die first. That would have been very depressing.
Yeah, there's a lot of people we like in this movie that they all get knocked off little by little. We'll get to Idris, too. He's the captain. Well, on this ship, the one who's like kind of in charge from the company, and of course we don't trust right away, is Vickers, and that's Charlize Theron.
Oh,
good to have her. I love having her around. And she was going to be playing Shaw originally, but some scheduling conflict stopped that, and then she came back to play Vickers. And Vickers was maybe going to be played by Michelle Yeoh or Angelina Jolie. There's all kind of casting things that were like being juggled up in the air, but we came up with a pretty good cast so far for all these people.
So far, the cast, if you just didn't tell me what movie it was and you just told me this cast, I'd been like, wow, that sounds amazing. Yeah, I want to check this out.
Yeah, I mean, Charlize is a terribly underrated actress considering like she just had a ballet and modeling background and, a slow start in the movies. I think her first movie was Children of the Corn 3, which is not very promising. But then 2 Days in the Valley was good. And other than the fact that she auditioned for Showgirls and lost out to Elizabeth Berkley, she's got a pretty good career. Mad Max, and I loved her most like in Devil's Advocate and, of course, Monster. Those were like killer performances, and I was like amazed by her. So here she's just kind of like icy, bitchy, corporate, kind of like, let's not trust her. She's with the company.
Hey, she might be a robot who was brought up before.
She might be. Even Idris Elba is questioning that. We'll talk about Idris Elba because he's a captain, and he's hiding his British accent as always because I don't think he ever even uses it, but you can tell it.
Real rock and roller.
Yeah. Because I just know The Wire and the Thor movies and Dark Tower. Daniel Craig recommended him to be the next Bond, but then again, Daniel Craig would just be happy if anybody is the next Bond, and it's not him. But Idris Elba's good. He's a captain, yeah, and he's just walking around playing an accordion most of the time and talking like this. He's cool. I like the guy. He's like a no-nonsense kind of captain there. And Benedict Wong is around, and for once not playing Wong, but he's there. Oh, the one cool thing about Benedict Wong, though, he was actually in another Ridley Scott movie, The Martian. And the last cast crew member, I think, is this very, very Scottish woman, Ford, played by Kate Dickie. She's so fucking Scottish, man. I mean,
oh, God, I forgot about her, yeah.
Yeah, she's in Game of Thrones, and she was also in your other favorite movie, Star Wars Episode 8, working for General Hux. Well, yeah, she was probably very low billing in that movie.
Did she have a goddamn bowl cut in that movie, too?
I think so, yeah. I was under a helmet, so I couldn't really tell. But yeah. Kate Dickie was never in a Highlander movie, though. I wish that's the only place she really seems like she would fit right in. But let's get to their planet. They finally get to their planet. Oh, they have to do the briefing first. They have a briefing, we see the hologram, very cool holograms of a really old Guy Pearce.
Yeah,
and
that's another problem in the movie.
It's sort of like the same shit that you got in Aliens and you got in AVP with Lance Henriksen in there. So yeah, what do you not like about this particular sequence?
Hey guys, this is $1 trillion program. What we're gonna do is we're gonna fly off to this planet. Cool. What are we gonna do there? We're not gonna tell you until you get there. Excuse me? You fucking heard me.
Yeah.
Wait,
but we're all scientists and we want to know. We want our facts and our data.
Oh yeah,
and our souvenirs.
you think you'd fucking find out before you sign up for a 2-year trip, but no, that's fine. We'll tell you when you get there. That's great. That's like the worst fucking road trip you'd ever been on in your entire life.
But you get paid. The only thing is, you could have been working those 2 years that you take to get here. So what's 2 years' salary? If it doesn't add up to what you're making for this thing, it ain't worth going there, is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you'd still want to know where you were going, and you wouldn't just blindly sign up. Especially, like, it's like us, going on a road trip. Oh, where are we? We're in Disney World, Chernobyl. Oh, fucking great. Thanks. That's where I wanted to go. Yeah.
I always wanted to go to that Chernobyl theme park, It was good.
So,
well, yeah, these guys they're all naive. You can't be too intelligent in one of these movies because otherwise you would survive it. And we can't have that. We can't have people living through this movie.
Oh, yeah. That's what one of the biggest problems with this movie is. It is a cavalcade, if I'm even using that word right.
Fancy terminology. Yes, go ahead.
I learned it from Seth MacFarlane, so that's not that fancy.
Cavalcade,
it is just a giant pile of just shitty choices from supposedly smart people.
Well, they're very entertaining on screen. I'll just give it that. One of these days, we'll get to the film where everybody makes the right decision. Despite whatever goes wrong, they all did the right thing. And you can't call them assholes. You can't yell at the screen.
I would love that movie so goddamn much if that ever existed. And if it did exist, if there's anyone who could comment on these videos, please tell me. I would love to watch that movie.
All right, we'll try to find one. But as for now, I'm going to watch these characters fuck up and meet some creepy-ass aliens and stuff. So they land there, this planet, and they go out there after they talk to Vickers, and she's like, you don't do shit unless you report to me and all that stuff. So they go to this pyramid, which looks like a giant donut with a bite taken out of it and a little donut hole in the middle, and they explore it. They send out these little drones, these little mapping drones, which are kind of cool. They go out there and they figure out, like, the whole layout of the place without, having to even go.
Oh, no, yeah. The science and the visuals for, like, that kind of stuff, that was amazing. I thought that looked awesome as hell.
That was cool. Yeah, I like those mapping drones. Yeah, it's awesome. That's how I guess we started the whole, those Garmins must have, like, how do you get the map? I guess one of those things, you just throw it out, roll it down the street, and when it comes back, you got the whole fucking Earth, and you know where to drive. Don't know. But then David goes along, because he's a robot, and he could probably do things better. He starts pushing all the buttons on the walls, and doors start opening, and home videos start playing from the engineers, like, running down the hall. Something happened to them, and they all were running towards this room, and then this door closes and cuts one of their heads off, and then they can't get through the door right away, but some weird shit was going on in there, and they're trying to, like, discover, like, are these the people we're coming to look for? Are these the creators of us, or whatever they are?
Yeah, and I love in that scene, like, when they actually get to the door and they find the decapitated engineer, they literally, two of them tap out. They're just like, nope, this is not what I signed up for. And in my head, I'm just thinking, you didn't sign up for anything. You just signed up, and you had no idea what you were doing, so you kind of deserve this.
Yeah, but they at least will try to stay out of harm's way. That was, that's our Scott guy, as Fifield and Milburn there, and he's like, I didn't sign up for this. I like rocks. I'm a geologist. I love rocks.
Yes, so it was the biologist and the geologist, and somehow, I don't know. Like, they were literally, I don't know, when they were just sitting there, they're like, we're tapping out, like, let's just head back to the ship. And I'm like, really? Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like, this seems kind of interesting, and somehow you guys just tap out right here? Like, fine, the geologist, I get it. Like he says, he's a fan of rocks or some stupid shit. But also the biologist is like, oh, wow, this is too heavy for me. And I'm like, really? You're not even at all curious?
Oh, well, he gets curious later, though. We see that. They go wandering around. They end up getting lost and stranded inside. And, because the rest of the gang...
That's another part I hated.
They open a door. They get this door open, and there's this fucking cool room full of these canisters, these vases, and a big head, and this mural on the wall that looks a lot like a xenomorph. It's like, oh, shit, man, we're at Giger's house. We traveled like 2 years through light years just to end up in Switzerland. But, okay, it's pretty cool in here. I'm digging, like, the decor.
Yeah, that's Swedish vampire. Great.
I love that guy. I mean, in fact, this was, like, the last movie he was actually involved in with aliens. He consulted on the creatures, and 2 years later, he was gone.
See, I don't know too much about him, except that every time I see a picture of him, I just look at him as a tryhard. He's just a try-hard guy who just wants to be super edgy. Oh, I walk around in a stupid robe because, I believe I'm the sweetest you have. They go fuck yourself.
He is kind of vampire, and that's blasphemy, by the way, right there. But okay.
I fucking said it.
I was going to tell all of our other listeners to check out the documentary Dark Star, and I don't mean the John Carpenter movie about him. And
no, please go check it out. It sounds awesome. It's just I'm an asshole.
Well, I want to do a Quan documentary one day, but I don't know how to sanction it. We will.
Yeah, trust me.
Be in there. Come on, be in there. I'd watch it, honestly. I would. And by the way, this pyramid thing that they're inside, when the camera pans up, you see this sort of like a head, skull, whatever, sculpted onto the top of the mountain. That was actually another Giger design from Jodorowsky's Dune, which was never shot, but also has a documentary about it, which is really, really also pretty damn fascinating. But this is just more trivia, just to get in the way of all the action and bad shit that's about to happen to the people. Yeah, what's going on, man?
Yo.
I can cut this tighter if you need to pause or...
No, man. Whatever you want to do. I got the mute button, so whatever you want to do.
Yeah, if you're going to be puffing or anything like that.
Oh, yeah. Have you heard any of it or no?
No, that's good. You're good with that.
All right, good. Well, I'm not trying to fuck up your show, bro.
No, it's all right, man. It's okay. Every time there's like an errant noise, I always know how to get rid of it. But the end result is good. All right, so we'll carry on at this point here. All right, so they're in the room with all the cans, and everyone's touching shit that they shouldn't, and all this black goo starts coming out of the top of the cans, and they don't know what the shit is, and then the picture on the wall starts changing, and then suddenly they get a distress signal from the ship, like, yo, there's a silica storm approaching. You better get the fuck out of there. And it's like, they must have set off some sort of alarm, or they triggered something. Maybe the engineers are using to protect this arsenal that they have here. What do you have on that?
All right, so I assume everyone who's actually probably by now, if you haven't seen the movie, go watch the goddamn movie before listening to this. But so
that's
the
storm,
what I'm
talking to. Yeah,
fine, I get it. You had to run out, you had to get back to the ship. That makes a ton of sense, 100%. My issue with that whole thing is how did the redheaded Scottish guy with the mohawk and the biologist? How did they get lost? He was literally the map guy. How did the map guy get lost?
I don't know. Maybe the drones were like not sending back the right. They were fritzing in and out. Like, they were getting these things like, we're getting like pings, glitch, life forms. What the fuck?
That was afterwards. It was before this, like when the storm was on its way, they somehow got lost. And
I guess so.
God, like I said, this is just a movie of just garbage decisions from smart people.
Well, maybe guy got lost. I don't know if the little map balls were done mapping. Maybe they were like still traveling around and building like the imagery because you see it like building as it goes.
Yes, and you saw that once it got to the end of the hall, since it was just a half a donut, all that information got sent to the ship. You think the map guy who set it up would be like, oh, let me check my little wrist iPad thingy. Maybe there's a map here. No, okay, screw it then.
Must have bad Wi-Fi inside the donut. That's what I think. So they got lost. They got left behind when everybody else goes back to the ship. And I thought that the storm sequence was really cool, very exciting, and
definitely
cool special effects, very intense. And I don't think anybody got killed by it, but it was dangerous, that's for sure.
No, but that hot French girl definitely got knocked around, though. The one from the girl with the dragon tattoo. I don't know her name.
Right, yeah. Numi Rapace. I think she's Icelandic and Swiss or something. But yeah, she might be French, too.
She's hot.
She's international. Yeah, she is. She's good. And very, very good in this movie, like I said. So they get back to the ship, most of them anyway, except for the poor ologists. And they got the head with them. They took one of the heads. And, of course, David smuggled one of the jars because he's going to be playing all kinds of fucked up shit with the biology in there.
Oh yeah, let's not, also go with that whole thing too. He not only took a giant jar, he stuffed it in a transparent duffel bag. No one noticed he did this. They're like, oh, David, let's go. Whatever the fuck his name was.
I don't think they have TSA. Whatever. He could just smuggle shit in and out of there. Maybe.
No. It's like stealing from an archaeological site, but not only that, he went back on dune buggies with other people, and no one noticed the heavy bag he had with him.
Well, no, it's my thermos. I don't drink, but I like to appear human as possible. It's my coffee.
Like, I don't know, man. You might really hate this movie after you're done talking to me. I'm sorry. I'm
trying not to, but all right, yeah. There's a lot of logical pitfalls in here, but I'm still rolling. I still love this. It's fun. It's exciting. I usually don't use my logic when I see these movies. It's just like, why bother?
I don't want to either. It's just, it's just in your face, and I'm like, what the fuck was that? Why?
If it's like insulting my intelligence, then I get a little bit offended. but this didn't.
Should have called this movie.
I had more issues with AVP Requiem, and definitely had a lot more issues with the movie after this, Alien Covenant. But so far, I'm like, digging this one a lot. But all right, they do more stupid shit. Let's get back to the stupidity, because that's what we're here for. Yep. They bring the head back, all right, and like they immediately want to start playing with the head. They want to like get it working again. Like what? It's like it's a freaking. It's not. I don't know if it's fossilized, but they figure, like we just plug some electrodes into it and zap it and make it open its eyes and maybe it'll talk to us. I don't know, what are they thinking?
I mean, like literally, it was really cool actually, because I'm not gonna lie, like when they took off the helmet and like for the fact that the chick is like, oh, I think this is a helmet. I'm like, all right, let's do this. It looked cool. I feel like their logic and their processing. I'm like, okay, you know what? Good idea. This is not bad. I kind of like where this is going. You know what? Go for it.
And at what point did you not like where it went? Because then like they're getting it to like twitch its eyes and they're stimulating its nerves and eventually it just like blows up and smells really bad.
I don't know. I kind of pictured Frankenstein when they first turned him on.
Yeah, but it's just the head. I mean, I don't think it can really do anything unless it has telepathy and can like make you do things or
I've never
telekinesis.
Heard a death scream before, but I finally got to watch a death scream. That was something.
Huh.
That thing was trying its hardest to scream because like it's been dead for 2,000 years. Is that really how you want to wake up? Having a bunch of random white people staring at you?
I guess not. But that thing blows up. That was shitty. So that was like basically all they come back with. So, sorry, your expedition went belly up there. And the husband there, Holloway, the actor who I never saw any movies.
God damn it, did I hate him for this whole scene. He was such a pissy little girl the entire time.
Oh.
Some aliens I wanted to do. Like, you met one. Like, would you fucking chill? It's day one. Yeah, did you forget that? This is literally day one and this is your first alien. And you somehow brought it back to life. You turned it back on, and yet he's sitting in the corner just drinking and being sad. Fuck him. Fuck that guy.
He was an idiot, yeah. And I mean, he's even more of an idiot in the deleted scenes of this movie where he has even less sympathetic behavior. But let's just say he's just like pissed off and grumpy and he's drinking. And David comes along and throws a little roofie into his drink, a little spike of black goo from the vases.
Yeah, we've all been there once or twice.
Yeah, but this is like the worst roofie ever because you don't pass out, but you turn into something later on. We don't know what it was going to be something bad, but he's got this.
I saw that you pass on to a chick that you're banging.
Well, he does get into the bed with his wife later on, and even though she is unable to conceive, later on that changes too, but only because of the help of this black goo. It's like a virility drug or something.
Out there right now. I wonder how many women have said that in their lives. Oh, the black goo helped me out, let me tell you.
It certainly did. Well, the white goo wasn't doing the trick, so let's not be colorblind here when it comes to conception. I gotta see where I can get me some of that black goo. But
no, you don't. No, you don't.
It maybe makes the drink taste better. All right, so anyways, in his drink, he drank it. He gets together with his wife there. Oh, and then there is some other sexual stuff. Not much, but Yannick, Idris Elba is sick and tired, his boring ass job. So he talks to Charlize, goes, Vegas, can I ask you a question?
Best
you
pickup
robot
line I've ever seen before in a goddamn movie. Oh my god.
Like that? You robot?
Yeah,
it's like, no, I'm an atomic blonde.
Like, fuck it, I'm going for it. And I'm like, wow, good for him. She's going to go get that D. Good for her.
Do it, man.
All it took was for her being compared to David. Like, oh, are you a robot? She's like, huh, let me show you something.
Well, David is, but I don't swing that way. Yeah. I'm tired of playing with this fucking accordion. So give me something else to squeeze. So there, that's like a little relief there. Maybe they get their rocks off before they die. Oh, our pals are stuck on the pyramid, before the storm is over. They go into the room with the goo, with the goo cans, and like they're spewing goo all over the floor. It's kind of disgusting, and
no longer afraid of searching out this ship anymore. Like for the fact that they find the entire. You mind if I say it or no?
Yeah, you can save it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they find an entire pile of dead engineers. The thing that they were so afraid of that made them want to run out of there. They find a whole pile of them, and they're just like, oh, let's go check it out now, gang. Where's Scooby? It's fucking stupid.
Yeah. No, I think, but the other guy, the biologist, gets all excited when he sees this little albino serpent slithering around. He's like, oh, she's beautiful. Come here. Like, what makes you think she's female? Well, it could be the vagina in the middle of its head that's shaped like a penis. I don't know. But when he finally finds out this shit isn't friendly and breaks his arm and goes down his throat, and then Fifield goes face down.
Him up.
Yeah, man, not so happy there. You had a bad experience with Whitesnake. I know we all have, but yeah, that goes bad.
Don't you fucking dare disparage Whitesnake.
They finally come back and try to rescue these poor fuckers. Oh, when they come back to the ship, though, they find more rooms. I got like this recycling room with all the cans, like a wine cellar. But this is all the black goo that's being...
Oh, yeah, the cargo hold.
It's stockpiled because it's like a weapons storage, right? This is all biological warfare.
Now, hold on one second, though. I want to go back. When they interact with the serpent, the biologist, who was super scared the whole time, all of a sudden's like, oh, no, I'm actually going to go talk to it and play with it now. But
Yeah.
really?
This is the time to be fucking scared.
Exactly. And instead, he reaches out his hand. He's like, I'm going to fucking touch it. And then it, retracts its head and looks like, giant vagina lips. And all of a sudden, it latches on. And he's like, oh, it's acting like a snake. Maybe it's not a snake. And, he's dumb. He's fucking dumb. He deserved to die.
Cut it off. But what about the, never mind, just cut it, the acid inside. Yeah, because it's going to have acid for blood.
Okay, I'm not even going to lie. The way the Scottish guy, the geologist, the way he died, that was kind of awesome.
Well, he kind of dies 2 times, because he dies once there with his helmet melting and falling into the goo, and then later on he comes back as a modified, mutated Scottish guy.
Oh, wait, no, that just reminded me too. Remember when they were on the ship and they were about to first go off, and the guy wanted to bring the flamethrower, and the girl scientist, I don't know, the hot girl, she kept saying, she's like, oh, this is a scientific thing. We don't need guns. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
I hate that in movies where they're like, oh, we don't need guns. Why? Why would you not need guns? You're on an alien world. You know what the fuck is there.
Sometimes science can kill you, so you have to fight back.
No, not even that. I didn't even know that they had guns, because later on in the movie, you find out they have guns. They just, waited an hour and a half to show you.
It's a military operation, no matter what they want to call it. Let's go find something we've never seen before and kill the shit out of it. But yeah,
that sounds American as shit to me right there.
It's dangerous out there, man. Well, now we know there's some aliens in this movie. All right, this thing, I don't know, now I think the terminology that I've been reading, this thing that busts out of his head is called a hammerpede. It's a snake, all right? It's a white snake, and it's not the worst thing I've ever seen burst out of a body in an alien movie. Did you ever see Dreamcatcher? Stephen King.
A long time ago.
All right, well, that has ass bursters, and that's got to be the worst thing. You get infected, you get this red moss growing on you, and then you shit out an eel.
Yeah. Oh, man, I do remember that.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you do. But now that's a movie you could definitely, skewer the hell out of it. And this is like a masterpiece by comparison. But all right, I don't want to talk about that one right now.
Yeah, of course. Back to
just checking out. Different sorts of aliens that bust out of different parts of your body, and which ones are our favorites. But all right, I don't want that one. So when they try to bring everybody back to the ship, now what's his name there? Holloway, the husband guy, the sulking, angry scientist guy, is not feeling so well. He's not looking good either. He's starting to mutate. I don't know what he's turned into. And Vickers there, Charlize, is pulling a Ripley and is like, nope, you're not coming back on this ship.
Oh,
quarantining your ass.
I don't know why everyone was literally like, oh, we have to bring him back on. Why the fuck would you bring him back on?
Yeah, he needs medical attention. That's what he get this.
The smartest thing ever. It was just by burning him.
That's right. And that was the real flamethrower. And yes, indeed, it was real shit on set. I don't think she burned the actor. But then again, I've never seen him in anything else. So who knows? But he's toast, and he wanted to die. He's like, yeah, I know, I'm done for. That's it. I don't know what I'm turning into, but I suck enough already. Just burn me.
Yep. So that was actually 2 very smart things from 2 people in the movie.
Good. All right. And then it'll probably be the last. Well, man, there must be at least one more smart decision before it's over. We'll find out. Sorry. So now they get back inside. Your girlfriend from France there, Shaw, is very upset, and she's pregnant too. And David tells her, but that's not possible. I can't get pregnant. Well, you can with the black goo. He wants to put her out.
Creepy. Yeah. You got to admit, Michael Fassbender was super creepy in that scene.
Yeah, no. You can be all suave and British and all that shit, but those are the people you can't trust. But probably had milk for blood.
He definitely did. He was one of those. God, I can't remember the model of those droids that they had for the movies.
The Hyperdyne.
Yeah, right.
Hyperdyne, which is before Cyberdyne, but same shit. But you can only trust them if the name's Bishop, and only some of the time. So David is in on the plot. He knows he's got to do something creepy and not in favor of these humans. And anyway, Numi, she busts out when they're trying to bag her and put her to sleep, and she goes and visits this med pod that's in Charlize Theron's fancy apartment. So this thing is awesome because she finds out she's pregnant, but it's not a traditional child, as he says.
Oh no, they were saying that the med pod was saying that it's only registered for males.
Right. So what's it doing?
Another problem.
No, but there's a reason for that, I think. But even though it's
there definitely is. It's just when she sets up the machine, she's like, "Oh, it's set for a male. Okay, fine. Then I'll set it up for some type of abscess or something growing inside or blah blah blah." Let me
set it for castration and see if that works. So I just want to get this foreign body out of mine. But it's good, and that's another one of the most awesome scenes in the movie. I love this sequence where it's scanning her and it's finding what's in there and it's zapping a little anesthesia that doesn't really do much, and she acts the shit out of this scene, man. She's
she
intense.
Does a great job here, yeah.
She's full on incredibly awesome in this scene and getting the shit out of her, and it plucks out this little squid thing, starts squirming around, and they gas it. I don't know what they do. It's still alive when she gets out of there, but it's like pretty, nerve-wracking scene that I loved. Like that's kicking some ass, man. That's like some real.
That was a real intense, yeah.
The sci-fi horror in that scene, and not knowing what it is. We're still expecting to see all those old aliens we love. All our old familiar faces and teeth, but it's a little bit different. But same concept. Still awesome.
Yeah. So my whole thing is, it was originally set for a male, not for a female. Fine, okay. And she set it to have the, the abscess or the whatever's inside of her to be removed.
Get a mole off my body.
So here's my issue. I know it's been a while since I took biology class, but I'm pretty sure women have different organs than men. I'm just saying. Especially in the mid-region.
And not just the ones we stare at, right? Yeah.
Exactly. And for some reason, this machine that's only set for males somehow knew what to rip out without cutting her too terribly and, finding the right spot and blah, blah, blah.
It's just a foreign, non-human DNA or something. That might have been easy enough.
So my assumption is that it latched onto a uterus. How did this machine know what the fuck a uterus was if it was for a male?
Because maybe it's never seen a uterus in a male patient before. So it's like, let's get that thing. Let's rip that out.
I just ripped out the whole weird alien thing. That's all.
It's good. It did what it needed to do. At least she survived. So, all right, it works. But it wasn't her pod. It wasn't supposed to be it's a his and hers med pod, and she went for the – it's like, all right, so the woman has to take a piss in the men's room, and all she's got is that urinal. All right, it's a conundrum, but I'm sure you could figure it out.
All right.
Something like that. Well, things keep getting worse. I mean, it does not let up now. Now we got Fifield outside, and I thought he was dead and melted, but he's outside. He's all crumpled up into this little like triple jointed boneless thing, and he stands up.
Nightmare.
Yeah, it's pretty freaking creepy. And he gets up and his face is all like bloated and mutated, and it's not the only version of the scene. There is a version of it where it's a little bit even more monstrous, but originally I think they really wanted to go like make him like full Xeno, like all the way with the long head and the pipes coming out of his back, and it's like nah, then it would be too much of an alien movie.
No, my whole thing is, so they just started making zombies? Because let's just agree that's what he was. He was a weird alien zombie thing.
Kind of. Well, yeah. I mean, must have been he was like ill-tempered to begin with. So when the black goo got all inside of him, he must have just been fighting it and like, fuck this. I'm just going to become an angrier, scarier being than I used to be.
You're just describing a Scotsman.
And I still didn't get paid. So I fucking hate rocks. I don't know. It messed with him. It messed with his DNA. It's just that's it. It's just do something scary. What is he going to do? Start playing the bagpipes? Yeah. Serving haggis to the crew. I mean,
So that's the thing. During that scene is when you're finally introduced to guns that they've had the entire time, apparently.
Oh, yeah. Well, now it's time to bust them out. Things are getting pretty scary, And then he wrecks the entire cargo bay or the garage. They have to run him over with the Jeep to finally kill him.
A day ago, you should have came by with guns. The original plan was to meet aliens, and you were going to go in there with your hands up saying, oh, we come in peace. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, yeah, if it looks like E.T., we're all right. But, pretty much all the other aliens you've ever met, except maybe Vulcans, they're going to kill your ass. They are, in a disgusting way.
Yep.
Or impregnate you, which is even worse. All right, well, there's another dead human/alien hybrid there in the movie, and things are starting to just, wind down to the ending. So we find out who else is on this ship with us. A really old Guy Pearce. So yeah, we thought he was dead, but he ain't. He's there. He's on the ship to try to meet the makers or whatever before he kicks off.
Yeah, and apparently no one knew he was there the entire time.
I think, David knew it, and maybe Charlize knows, because it's her dad, and she's like, figures the fucker's not dead. It's like, I knew this med pod was for somebody. That's who the med pod was probably for.
Yeah,
without probably like sneaking in and out of it in the middle of the night, to put his dentures in or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Also, there was that scene too, like in the beginning when they were doing the hologram like intro video to the mission. He was saying like, "Oh, treat David as if he were like my son," and I'm like, "Wait, what? Why? Like, what? I don't get this."
Yeah, well, he created David, and I guess like he's more proud of that than his own daughter. So she was a little bit annoyed when he said that. You could see like her give her a little like eye roll or something. We see that Guy Pearce and his daughter there don't have a good relationship. And one more word about Guy Pearce, besides being in some other cool shit like L.A. Confidential and Memento, and turning down Daredevil in 2003, probably the best decision he ever made.
Lockout. Let's not forget that.
Oh yeah, Lockout. Good, yes, Lockout. That was just on one of my channels. I should see that again. So he's good in this with a whole bunch of old man makeup. And the other idea for this casting, and which would have been a little cheaper, I guess, because of the makeup, but maybe they have to pay the actor more. They might have used Max von Sydow or Rutger Hauer, which would have been good. And Rutger was already in Ridley's Blade Runner, so it would be cool to see him working with him again. He would have made a good Wayland, I guess. He could be an asshole.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I think if you used any, old guy.
Well, Guy Pearce, I guess he wanted to look like an old guy and still appear in the TED Talk so you could see him when he wasn't old. And that's why I like, the way that bridges the movie a little bit. So that was kind of cool. Yeah, he's still...
No, you're right. That is actually pretty awesome.
He's kind of an asshole, though, and all he gives a shit about is his selfish wish to just, meet these people, and I paid all this money, and you get out here and find these people.
He wanted immortality.
Immortality, right, yeah. Oh, everybody wants that. He had, all the gizmos to keep him alive, and, one of the interesting little casting thing, one of his assistants there, his aide, is played by Vladimir Furdik, who is the Night King from Game of Thrones. But now, here he is scrubbing 100-year-old bunions off Wayland's feet. But yeah, that's what you get for that final season, man. Some interesting people in this movie. I don't know, he must have been really tall. I didn't even notice, but yeah, he's not that easy to recognize if he's not the Night King, I guess.
Yeah.
Wayland is here. He wants to go out there and find these makers, and David's going to bring him there, and David already knows how to run some of the shit, because they get into the final room. It's like the control room, and David's able to push all these little squishy buttons and power up this hologram of the universe and all these planets that they can go to.
Let's not forget the flute.
The flute. Oh, yeah, there's a flute there, right? And I guess, and he uses that again later on. I forgot about the flute. So, yeah, these aliens, these engineers, they're into Jethro Tull, apparently, but they can play music, and they have a cool little lighting system and some 5.1 surround shit. And they go out in these little Tron bodysuits, and you got the outline of the ship now. Now you could find out, that where they're going is actually that horseshoe ship that we see in the first Alien movie. It looks just like it. That's another, geekgasm, when you see that in the trailer, oh, I know what that is.
It's eggs.
It is. Where are the eggs? But there's no eggs. There's just thermoses, but they're the same shit. So they meet the engineer. There's only one left. There's one in his little sleeping chamber. He probably hasn't been awake in a very long time. So David pushes the squishy buttons. He brews a little Nespresso, wakes up the fucking engineer. And this really big dude is another old friend of ours. He played the Predators in the 2 AVP movies. This is Ian White. So this is the dude who played the fucking Predalien.
Oh, okay.
Is in this movie now, and he's also not friendly in this movie. He helps bring the aliens around instead of killing them. But anyway, they talk. Him and David and Wayland talk a little bit in some strange language that we think David understands, and he answers back by pulling David's head off and throwing everybody against the wall, and Shaw gets the fuck out of there. Wayland dies, and Charlize is like, okay, time to go home.
Yep, that is pretty much it, because, they watched all of it through a vid cam.
Yep, from a safe distance.
What was it, Shaw? Smartest thing in the world. First thing she did when she looked at him is just made a run for it. She said, nope, I am noping the fuck out of this.
Well, she tried to get in on a conversation, ask him why they hate us, why they want to kill us. Oh, shut up, I want to live forever. And if she speaks again, shoot her. So Pierce is a dick in that movie, but she gets out of there. And what she tells Captain Idris there is that we can't let this shit get to Earth, because all these cans and all this black stuff, it's gonna kill us all. So we have to make sure it never gets out of here, because I think they're heading for Earth. They're gonna deliver it there and just wipe out the whole human race.
Yep, smart move by her and Idris Elba.
So what we're going to do is take our ship and ram it into the horseshoe when the horseshoe tries to fly away.
Which looks awesome, by the way.
Some really excellent special effects there. And Charlize gets to eject and maybe live for 2 years in her little apartment escape pod thing. But it doesn't go well, because it ejects, she ejects, they land outside. The horseshoe gets rammed. It falls down on its edge. It starts rolling. The two women are running away from it, not in the correct direction if they want to live.
Dumbest goddamn decision ever. Why didn't she... It's what everyone says when they watch the movie. Why did she just keep running straight?
Yeah, run in the direction of its roll. No, run.
Left or right. Left or right.
That'll do it. Yeah. They were panicked. They were in heels. I don't know. Well, Charlize was so skinny she might have survived. I don't really know. She got squished by the damn thing. Shaw is left. The engineer comes after her, and it almost gets her, but she hides out and opens the door from the med lab. And guess what? Her little baby squid grew into a big motherfucker. Mm-hmm. It's I think it's called a trilobite or whatever it is. It's this big squiddy tentacle thing. Fights the engineer, gets on him, suffocates him, does something to him. It looks really big, but if you look at it in a smaller perspective, it's kind of like a face hugger. And we leave him alone in there, probably...
I didn't even make that connection. No, holy shit, you're right.
Yeah, if you look at it really from a distance, it's like a big-ass, really squishy face hugger that could hug, a really big face. So, all right, it's down there, and Shaw goes back and gets David's head out of the crash ship, because it's still talking, and just like Ash's head in Alien, it could still talk, and maybe you could get it to tell you something useful. So she picks him up in a duffel bag and sets off, and he goes there are other ships, and I know how to fly them. So, they're going to get out of there, and she's going to go explore and find out where these assholes came from and what their problem is with the human race.
Oh, yeah. So it's, do you ever see Contact? That's what this was.
Yeah, Jodie Foster, right?
Yeah, so, oh no, the giant space station is supposed to save us all. It's down. Oh, don't worry, we built another one on the other side of the planet. Oh, that's what this was.
Oh, well, that was just like a way to like get out of this downer, like, oh, we lost our only hope. Nope, we made another one.
Oh, yeah, no, look, there's another ship. Oh, go figure.
Well, you didn't think this was the only horseshoe ship on the planet, right? Because, yeah, there's a whole bunch of these.
Apparently it was in ATV distance.
I think that there was like a whole series of pyramids, so I think they only went into the first one. I think I remember there was like a row, you know?
Oh, okay.
So there were probably other ships, other flavors of coffee in the canisters and different kind of alien DNA, all kinds of cool shit. But they only went into the first one because that was enough trouble already, I think. And the movie is almost over. Yeah, she's signing off just like Ripley and saying, you know, I'm the last survivor of this shitty expedition and everybody else died and some of them are dicks. And they're flying away. And then we see the ending shot where the engineer wakes up with the dead, you know, giant squid next to him and he gives birth and something comes out of him. And it's got a nice long black head and it looks at the camera and sticks its teeth out, and then it sticks more teeth out, and then the crowd goes wild. It looks a little bit like an alien.
It looks like a xenomorph.
It looks like a goblin shark, actually, and it's the Deacon is what its little nickname is. But, all right, that means we got something that resembles our favorite alien, and maybe there'll be more of that in the future. So that's how this one ends, and I thought pretty kick-ass, you know, pretty good. It's alien, but not alien. And
They just threw in that last nostalgia boner for you.
I loved it, though. This makes sense. Like, it's not exactly what you've seen before, but it's like basically it evolves into it, or it's a variety of it. And I was pretty satisfied with the shit. I really liked it. But you didn't feel that elation at the end of this movie, right? Except maybe that it's over.
Yeah, except that, oh, thank God, look at those credits.
Oh yeah, beautiful scarlet letters.
Pretty in my life.
Ah, man, and Gaffer and Best Boy. All right, they were the only people I appreciated in this whole goddamn movie. But it was still cool, man. There's like a lot of interesting stuff. I mean, you know me, I'm like the collector. I get the Blu-rays and I watch all the shit. There's like this connection in the whole world of Alien and Blade Runner where like Tyrell is like a competitor or a mentor to Wayland. And, then, you know, they're talking about the different characters and crossovers in the movies. And it's very interesting shit. But then to figure like what would happen after this movie, and then we got Alien Covenant, which I may cover some other episode maybe, but did you see Covenant?
I did see Covenant.
Did you like it less or more than this?
I don't know. That's another just pile of fucking...
Yeah, there was nothing that much I found wrong with Prometheus, but I found a lot wrong with Covenant. Like, it just did not deliver on the story. It just didn't open things up. It was a little interesting, but it's just basically throwing in some other bullshit encounters with aliens, but not like in the most creative way. And there were some new monsters, and they were kind of creepy, but I don't know. I just wanted it to be a little more of the story that this started, but even more sinister. And
I don't know. The way I saw it, it was just like, oh shit, we have all this money and we want to make more money. All right, I have an idea. What? Aliens, bro. Aliens.
Just put that back in the title so people will go see it.
Exactly.
But I think the fans hated it the most. I think like there were a lot of disappointed fans, and then like they give Prometheus a little bit more love after seeing that.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's like, you know, how do you describe it? It's like the hot girl and then the other girl, and it's just like, you know, she is kind of hotter by comparison, I guess so, yeah.
In retrospect.
Yep.
Well, one other cool thing. Did you happen to see the show Raised by Wolves on HBO Max?
I have not yet.
Heard about it?
Yes, I have.
All right, so that's something, if you like this kind of stuff, this sci-fi Ridley Scott kind of shit, that's very much like that kind of thing. And yeah, check that out. I think you'd like it. It's a little bit like this, a little bit like Prometheus, maybe with some more logic possibly. And
so an entire show of just drolled out atmosphere and boring nothingness? I can't wait.
Things happen. It's cool. It's cool.
I'll
Check it
give
out.
it a shot.
You like sci-fi. Watch the shit. Because otherwise, all you got is Disney. If Disney acquires the Alien franchise, I don't know what the hell they're going to do with it, but they
Disney owns Fox, so
they might finish this story. All I know is they could have violence because, you know, Mandalorian is kind of violent considering it's a Disney show. It's pretty brutal, you know, in a PG-13 kind of way.
So you know what was actually probably a big downfall for this Prometheus movie?
What
it was rated PG-13.
Well, it didn't have to be.
It didn't have to be at all. No, it could have been, you know, I feel like they could have probably done a lot more if it was rated R, but they had to get them monies.
It kind of felt R to me. I think in different places, I think in Canada, it was like 14. It was like a 14-year-old limit, like NC-17 is like NC-14. I don't know what they had, but yeah, unless you're afraid of monsters and maybe one or two little curse words, I don't think it was really an R kind of movie, but... I just remember the original Alien scared the fucking crap out of me, and that was an R. Yeah, and
I'm looking at it right now, and Rotten Tomatoes gave Prometheus a 73%. Dear God, why?
They didn't hate it that much.
Yeah, that's actually very surprising to me.
Well, Rotten Tomatoes is not the only benchmark you got, but
excuse me, sir. They said that The Last Jedi was the best movie ever.
So don't trust them. I know that. I think you should throw some tomatoes at Rotten Tomatoes, man, because yeah, Last Jedi is definitely going to get targeted in the very near future. I think I got a couple more episodes to go.
That's because you're a bigot, Michael. You don't like that movie.
You are on. No, I try to like it. Let's put it that way. I try to like it.
We all tried to like it. It was a fucking pile of crap.
But it's more fun to hate, and that's why we're going to do a whole other episode just with that.
It's not fun to hate. I wanted to like that movie.
Well, you like the end credits at least? No, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. The end credits.
They were good. Well,
I hope Ryan Johnson gets AIDS.
We will talk about that movie again soon. And this one, well, all right, I'm sorry you didn't like Prometheus, dude, even after you watched it again. But I still like it, but I will definitely be looking at it with more skepticism next time. Like, oh, yeah, Quan said you would do that. You're an idiot, man. It's like, why'd you do
like
that?
I said, I hope I just didn't ruin this for you.
No,
I hope I did ruin it for you. I hope the next time you watch it, you'll be like, I can't not think about this now.
This piece of shit, man.
Yeah.
And, no, I don't think so. If someone can make me like Alien Covenant better, that would be great. But I could definitely start hating Last Jedi after we talk about it again. Because, yeah, it's very easy to just give up on Star Wars altogether with that one. All right, well, anyway, Prometheus, however it turns out, if they ever finish this story cycle, my dream would be for it to finish up where the entire human race is just reborn and they're all HR, Giger, and Xenomorphs roaming the planet. And that'd be fine. That's good. And all the architecture and landscape is all Giger-esque. That's my final say on this fucking movie.
Oh, yeah. I still hate it. I'll never die.
Okay. All right, well, duly noted, man. Well, thanks. I appreciate it, man. We could say whatever we want to say on this show because there's no holds barred, no punches pulled. If something sucks, just say it like it is, man. But
oh, yeah.
I'm going to go watch Prometheus again right now. All right, no. But all right, well, let's catch up again, dude. I want to do another one of these with you soon. I guess Last Jedi or anything else that comes to mind, just like throw it out there and I'll do it. I'll watch it.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thank you for having me on the show again.
Thanks for coming back on with your fancy microphone.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Stay away from the black goo and the white snakes.
Oh, trust me, I don't need no more black goo.
Okay, dude. I'll catch you later, man.
Later.
Take care.